Crime is a show where I, Rich Slaton, read a true story about lawbreakers.
With his guest, not his guest. What am I? Am I a guest of yours?
No, you're a co-host.
I'm the co-host of this podcast, damn it, who smoked his sister-in-law's indica today, so he's a little slow. John Shefsky!
I don't think you're slow. I think that you're actually now at the perfect pace.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think you should just be indica.
Okay, well then I'll just drink Pabst every day for breakfast, and that'll probably just get me where I need to be.
Play the music.
I'll be coming down. Okay, play the music.
Crime is the show that starts now.
Like right now?
Oh, yeah, do your line.
Okay. Each week, Rich reads a real crime story. I don't know a word that rhymes with story.
And my homie John always has the hot riff. He really loves it when you send...
Don't send anything to me. Don't you dare.
Crimepodcast@gmail.com.
Don't you send anything.
Label it John Shefsky. He loves them. Make sure the lighting's really good. Welcome to Crime. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We're now getting to episode 14 or 15 or somewhere in that range. I don't really keep track that well. You guys have been super cool so far.
Are we going to say what episode we're on so that people are like, wait, are they in the right order?
No.
Okay.
No, that's why I was very ambiguous with what episode this is.
Oh, you don't even get to know what episode this is. Just be happy you're listening to an episode of the show.
You know what? You're welcome. You're welcome for this.
That's a little too cocky.
Really?
Like you want to...
Should I scale it back?
Yeah. You could be like confident, like, hey, I'm giving you something good, but you're also valuable too. Like your, your money's good here.
Great transaction, listeners.
Exactly.
We give you entertainment. You give us listens.
Right.
And attention that we really need because we're empty.
We're the hooker you can talk to.
Oh, man. Hold hands even?
No.
Do you hold hands with a hooker?
I mean, you
depends. Personally.
Let's not say hooker. Let's just say with people. Yeah, I hold hands with some people, and some people I don't hold hands with.
I'll hold your hand right now, dude.
You're holding my hand.
For the whole episode. All right, well, that's enough.
I was going to say play the music.
Yeah, that was a good play the music, but we already played the music.
If we played it again, though. All right.
Play the music again.
Let's introduce our motherfucking guest.
We had a great guest today, one of my personal favorites, one of the funniest people at the Comedy Store. She's been here forever. She's an absolute killer.
Absolute killer.
Please welcome the very funny Eleanor Kerrigan.
Wow, together in unison. I like it.
Isn't it ridiculous?
Doesn't it make you feel good?
It does. Or gay, but something.
It makes you feel gay or makes you think we're gay?
Feels like I should have a dick in my ass. Oh,
At least
is
one of
this a
those.
clean podcast?
Definitely
This
not.
is a very clean
I'm
podcast,
sorry.
hygienically.
That's our very might be the
I haven't
earliest.
washed myself today. Have you?
I actually did. I took a long 20-minute shower today.
So proud of you.
Everyone
How about
was
you?
gone.
I showered yesterday.
Oh, good for you.
I didn't have time this morning. I was prepping the podcast.
You're a stinky.
I was being responsible.
Hey, you gotta get that Earl.
Yeah.
You gotta let that. That's what my grandpa used to say. I get that Earl in my skin, girl. I'm like, okay.
It's called pheromones. It's
called
good.
dirty.
Ooh,
but
yeah, I don't.
thank
Your
you.
grandpa called you girl already makes me more uncomfortable.
Oh yeah.
He was a black woman. Her grandpa.
It is hard to tell some days. So I was proud he knew.
Philly's finest across the table from me.
I'm no cop. How dare you?
I was thinking of like a professional athlete is where I was going with it. You were going cop.
Philly's finest. I feel like they always say that about a cop
Yeah.
or a fireman.
Yeah.
They say that about athletes. They never really refer to
No.
athletes as the finest.
No.
Unless you're saying sexually, you'd be like, man, he fine.
He fine
You seen his calves
as hell.
when he dunks?
Allen Iverson, Philly's
Dude.
finest. Dude, I
That
wonder
would
how
never
many.
go together. No, they would
How
freak
many?
out.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Don't.
Well, which part of Philly?
Yeah.
Because there's certain neighborhoods of Philly where they're like where he has most of the illegitimate children.
Yeah.
And then certain
They're like,
neighborhoods.
that motherfucker
Yeah.
owe me money.
And then certain neighborhoods where he's never been.
Where he may or may not have pulled a gun on you. So
Sure.
It's a fun time.
This is Alan Iverson.
Allen
Great.
Iverson.
And he's an athlete, right?
Yes.
Okay, I
Is
know
he
that name.
serious
but
right now?
dude, I
He's-
forget.
he's-
fucking leave him.
I
so
forget
really
I
serious.
forget a lot of fucking athletes, and like I don't keep up with a lot of sports.
What?
I know like Magic Johnson. You know.
Oh, so you only know the ones that have
No,
AIDS?
I know.
Okay. That's a shorter.
Which
No,
makes
I
me
mean,
feel like,
I know
Fucking
Magic
idiot.
Johnson, Arthur Ashe, Tony Hawk. You know the ones with AIDS.
Okay.
No big deal.
hey, Alan, you gotta get checked now that
But
Shefsky
did
knew who
Alan
you
Iverson?
were.
Did Alan Iverson spread his seed everywhere? Is he known for
I'm
that?
just
And he was
guessing,
ghetto?
dude.
Like pretty much every athlete.
He
is
was
gonna
the
come
king
wherever
of
they can,
Philadelphia or at least of
Still
not
is.
white
They brought him
Philadelphia.
back.
Oh yeah.
Well, he still lives there, and they brought him back, like, make a big deal out of him. Did his documentary out of there.
Was the
Like, whole
documentary
thing.
revealing? Was there anything?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Really well.
Christian Karl Gerhartsreiter.
That's a segue, kids.
He had a real asshole way of cutting in. That's if I feel like you're. Yeah.
I'm trying to. I try to find the best moment to end whatever you're talking about.
And that was
But
the best
kinda-
moment. I'm proud of you.
as Eleanor was talking, but that's still
No,
pretty
no, no,
fun.
it's fine.
Yeah,
It's
so
good.
that's how I do this.
I was trying to throw you under the
Christian
bus.
Karl Gerhartsreiter.
Oh, so he's a
Is
Christian.
that a real
huh?
person?
That's a real human being.
These are real
say it
These are
again,
real
Christian?
stories. Christian Karl Gerhartsreiter.
Okay.
Carl seems suspicious in there.
Right?
You know?
Gerhardt is
Gerhartsreiter.
He's a German.
Was born on February 21st, 1961 in a small town in West Germany.
Okay, after World War II, so he's probably okay.
His parents, Simon, a painter of both houses and art,
Pussy!
and Ermengarde, a seamstress.
That's his mom's name?
Ermengarde.
Ermengarde.
Jeez, I thought Eleanor was bad. I feel good about this.
Yeah, Eleanor's cool. Eleanor.
Eleanor was a Playboy playmate compared to Ermengarde.
Yes, you're right. I feel so hot next to Ermengarde.
Money was tight, and Christian acted out from a young age. In 5th grade, he got his teacher to look closely at his palm, then blew pepper in her eyes.
That's hilarious. I love this kid.
I thought you were going to say penis and then semen in her eyes. That would have been better.
Yeah.
Pepper,
in 5th grade?
Pepper is yeah.
Dude.
Get it out.
I didn't go through puberty till last week.
What kind of semen do you
Are you a
have?
late bloomer?
Yeah, I don't remember 5th grade. I remember
I went to Catholic school.
5th grade? I remember being like in 7th grade, be like, check this sweet thing out.
You have the powdered milk of semen that you can actually blow it into someone's eyes.
That's so gross. Like cum formula?
It's more like a fling. It's not a...
It's a fling?
Yeah, you just throw it like that.
He was a little
gross.
terror. Okay, go on.
He once used an air rifle.
Gross. I told you this was a clean podcast.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mom.
He once used an air rifle to shoot out the windows of the town church.
I already love this kid, just so you know. Like, he's done several things that you're like,
I may or may
I
not
actually
have
think
hung
that-
out with him.
Yeah.
You
he's-
might love this guy more than any of our subjects so far.
Okay.
He stood out in high school as the only boy wearing a suit and quoting classic literature.
All right, I'm 50-50 on that.
One thing was clear, Christian wanted out of his small town. Christian had long held an interest in American culture, especially Hollywood film noir. So when in 1978 he met American Peter Rockapari, I can't pronounce this.
Dude, you wrote this.
I don't know how to pronounce Roccapriore.
Rockapriore.
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 I'm not sure if that's
I'm just
actually-
following
yeah.
you.
A recent high
Just be
school.
confident. It's Rockapriore, you fucking moron.
He
It's
met-
like, I didn't know Alan Iverson. You don't know how to say Rockapriore.
Stop saying you didn't know Alan Iverson. It's
Okay.
making me angry.
He met Peter R.,
Alan
a recent
Rickman, right?
graduate.
The guy from Harry Potter? Okay, go on. Did he direct Ghostbusters? Okay, go on.
Now I can get you mad at me. I've never seen Harry Potter. So go ahead.
I'm not like super Harry Potter crazy though.
You
It's
look
gonna be
that
hard
way.
to piss me
You
off,
look
but you
that
could do
way.
it. You look like you could piss me off. You've always been so sweet to me. I'm looking at Eleanor like, you could piss me the fuck off, can't you?
Girl.
Put a dagger in your urethra
Girl.
while you're smiling.
Yeah.
All right, go on with your stupid story.
When he found out American Peter R. was a recent high school graduate backpacking through Europe, he excitedly struck up conversation. He took Peter for a tour of Bavaria, treating the backpacker to a fancy lunch and bragging about his wealthy industrialist father, who was one of the biggest executives for Mercedes-Benz.
Oh,
In the 60s?
Nazis.
So they are Nazi money.
Well, no, remember,
Yeah,
he's
that's
poor.
too close to
His
World
dad
War
is a
II.
poor
Gross.
painter.
oh right.
He's
Oh, he
bragging-
lied. God, I already fell for his lies, and he's
I
not
know.
even alive. Is he alive? I don't know, but he's.
You'll find out.
I'll find out.
The ruse was so convincing that Peter was happy to exchange information with the young German, offering Christian a place to stay if he ever made it to Meridian, Connecticut.
If you ever make
Or Meriden, Connecticut, I think is what it's pronounced.
Yeah, why pronounce anything correct now?
Yeah,
So,
let
At
it
this
go.
point.
So a few weeks later, 17-year-old Christian showed up unannounced on the Roccapriore doorstep.
How long later?
Few weeks later,
Oh, dude.
he's in Germany, and a few weeks later, he's like, "Hi, I'm in Connecticut now. I'm living with you."
Can you live up to your promise?
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, dude. I mean, I was.
Remember that thing you promised me drunkenly in a
Yeah.
bar in Bavaria?
I'm the kind of guy though that would be like that would take him up on it and be like, wouldn't I be rude if I didn't take him up on it? He'd think I wasn't really living up to my word of telling him I was going to travel. Right? But then like other normal people know, like, no, he was just being nice. You can't live with him.
The Roccapriores briefly took him in and helped him enroll in the local high school. He didn't stay long, soon placing an ad as an exchange student looking for free room and board. This time it was the Savio family who read his hubris as European charm and offered him a place to stay.
This is still in the 60s, right?
This is the 70s.
Yeah,
He was born in
he was born in
61.
61.
So this is 78.
Okay. So
Wow.
okay, that era of fucking traveling, I don't even know what it was like at that time to come from Germany. What was
Do you think he hitchhiked?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what the hell was Germany like in 78? What the hell was America like in 78?
He's just in a dinghy
Ships
waiting
passing.
for a boat.
Be hilarious.
Ja, Schnitzel, ja, mach schnell. I only know words from Nazi like movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, all my German.
Hello, Arbeit macht
I feel
frei.
like at
You
that
didn't.
point,
My
they were
favorite
still
German word.
not accepting, like nice.
Well,
I can't
his
imagine
dad-
that he's so. Well, I guess the Mercedes lying about.
Well, his dad's not a Mercedes guy. He's lying about it. His dad was a
That's what
painter.
I'm saying. Yeah, but lying about it.
Oh, yeah.
It would be more acceptable. Like, oh, he's got money. We might make.
Well, you
something
couldn't
off of
check
this.
anything either.
Exactly. There was no Google back then, so.
So
God,
did
people so much better.
Right?
Oh, dude, the
Did you
lies
guys
you
have
get
a
away
lie
with
you
that
used
can
to
make your
take?
life better without actually hurting anyone that you can't get away with now?
Did anybody have a
Amazing.
fake lie? Like my go-to lie before the internet to hit on girls was that it was so lame too, but it was that I played the annoying roommate's little brother on Saved by the Bell the college years. And people would be like, "Oh, I remember you." They would just like
Wow, that's
immediately fill in.
hilarious.
I don't know why you still don't lie
That
about
is
that. I mean,
hilarious.
because I'm sure that doesn't come up in
You're
Google.
so right. You can still get away with that.
Just keep that one in the repertoire.
He just plays it really safe. He's
Yeah.
like, just knowing that they could look something up. And I'm not on IMDb, so wow, it's really crazy. I don't know if I ever had to lie that in depth. I just was vague. I was like, I noticed
that
my
was
friends
like-
that were getting laid. I was like, they're so vague when they talk to chicks. I was like, you just got to be like, yeah, whatever. I never was like, I was on a TV show.
Yeah.
And you kept a straight
You
face.
go deep. I remember in
while you're
Scott-
fucking,
You got
like, I'm a
married?
bad man. His wife still thinks
Can you imagine?
she's really
like,
dumb.
You know what? I found this Google thing.
His wife doesn't know.
I bought the
They don't
DVD
have the
box
internet.
set and I don't see you anywhere.
I bought it for our anniversary, and you're not in it.
That's how your marriage falls apart. It's like, you find out you're a
me.
liar. You're like Harrison Ford in that movie with Michelle Pfeiffer. That's amazing.
Which one?
What Lies Beneath?
Ooh.
You know, where she finds out like, oh my god, this guy's a fucking crazy liar and a murderer, like all in like 1 week. You know, with the ghost.
Well, what an interesting topic for today's story.
Oh my
Yes.
god, go on with your story.
Christian slept on the Savio's couch for months while attending high school.
Like a good Christian.
He carefully crafted his image, wearing form-fitting European clothing, long flowing hair, and continuing to claim his
And
father was a
sucking
wealthy, wealthy industrialist. And sucking cock. I mean, maybe.
And he had the
Might have a one-track mind today.
It was
I
the
apologize for that.
late
a lot of
70s.
these characters are going to be improving cocksucking scenarios. I can tell you that much.
I'm just saying I'm hungry.
Are you hungry? Here, we brought
an
this for
idiot.
you.
Yeah, here have some.
Oh, it's just
have
like
some
the
Comedy
the
Store dungeon water.
It's
This show
fine.
coming to you from the Comedy Store dungeon, just to remind everybody.
Yes.
His interests, he still claimed his father was a wealthy industrialist. His interests bounced from one fantasy to the next. He developed a crush on a teacher, Joan Chichester.
Dude, the names.
The names.
Chichester's a great name. There's a new a church in my parish that I grew up with, St. Richard's, and now I just found out that it's St. Richard of Chichester. I never even heard that.
Well,
fucking word
strap in
before.
because Chichester will be coming back in this
I'm
story.
excited about
Folks, these
Chichester.
improv scenarios are just getting crazier and crazier. The name of a person in our story happens to be a church
Chichester.
that Eleanor tried to burn down once.
Of Chichester. It's a place, I believe.
Oh, of Chichester in England, right?
Maybe.
Just you wait, fellas and
Can't
ladies.
wait.
I was going to say, all the
Good
fellas.
old Chichester's in.
He became fascinated with the character Thurston Howell III, the uber-rich socialite from Gilligan's Island.
Oh, yeah. For a minute, I'm like, why do I know that person? I was going to Google it, but no, you helped me out.
He
Thank
practiced his English every day, basing his accent on the fictional elitist from the show.
Oh, wow.
He modified his name to sound more American. Christian Karl Gerhartsreiter became Christopher Gerhardt. As his name became more blue blood, so did his attitude.
you. Ooh.
Did he turn out to be Christopher Guest, the famous director?
That'd be great if he
It'd
did.
be awesome if that
Yeah.
was the end of it.
Yeah, it's like a 5,000-page word story, and you're like, it
And
turns
he's
out-
Christopher
yeah.
Guest.
And after making Spinal Tap in 1983, okay,
He began to treat the Savios like servants, making it clear he expected his breakfast ready and clothes laundered every morning.
So
What?
even if you think you're blue blood, you treat everybody like servants?
it's fake
Nice,
it till you
nice.
make it. Even if you don't make it your whole life, just treat people like slaves.
That's great.
Very cool, very honorable
Good
way to
people.
live. Yeah, I like it.
One afternoon in the winter, he refused to get up from the couch and unlock the door for the Savio's youngest daughter, a precocious child everyone called Snooks.
Wait, is he staying in this house for free, or is this one that he rented?
He is for
No,
free staying on
free.
their couch.
and he wouldn't. Okay,
He wouldn't get up from the couch to let in their 8-year-old daughter. And when the mother came home to find her shivering in the cold for hours, she promptly kicked him out.
okay, yeah, okay, because that's the right thing to do.
Yes.
I was just worried.
Yeah,
for a
at
second.
first, the 8-year-old daughter, I think I missed that in the beginning because why are you letting this idiot stay on your couch?
They have like
an
money or
8-year-old
no
doll-
money.
Yeah.
They have like 3 or 4 kids.
Yeah, like let's face the facts. He's German. Like, what
There's
the
kids.
fuck, right? Okay.
Well, he's an exchange student, and that's how they're rationalizing letting this asshole
All right,
stay on their
that's
couch.
creepy.
Yeah.
All right.
Eleanor's just looking out from like the molester goggles of just like, why is there
Something.
some dude you don't know staying in a house with your kids?
Yeah.
Right?
My dad used to pick up hitchhikers, and that was weird enough.
Yeah, that is.
I can't imagine somebody laying on,
living at your house.
He's like, I don't have enough children. I need more people in my house.
Especially
there
if
would
you're
be
home.
like 12 of us in the fucking car, and then he'd be like, move over. I'm like, what?
Why is it? Was
Well, you know, at least you guys had the guy
Getting
outnumbered, so he
fingered
felt.
by a hitchhiker in the back of a station wagon. Good times. Thanks, Dad.
This
Pick up
podcast
something
got
else.
real fast. We ended up just talking to Eleanor like, so how was the molesting by the hitchhiker?
It was fun.
It was fun.
Nobody noticed. There were so many people in the car. Fuckers.
We have a doll. We're like, where did he touch you? Where didn't he touch me? All right. The hitchhiker doll.
Christopher, as he was called now, briefly
right.
stayed with the
Yes.
school librarian, but she too kicked him out after he refused to pay for a number of lengthy calls to Germany and South Africa.
South Africa, huh? Nazi connections.
Chris had been in the U.S. for mere months and had already adopted a wine and cheese accent, changed his name twice, and been kicked out 3 times. So he did what anyone would do in his situation, and he went to film school.
What? How did you just go to film school if his dad wasn't the CEO of Mercedes-Benz?
This guy is a
How did he
fascinating.
get the money? Yeah, I guess so.
Well, also college back then was like, do you have $300 for the year? It was that sort of thing.
Really? College was affordable?
College was way affordable then.
Interesting.
Way
because
like,
more people weren't going.
most
you mean.
people weren't going as
Yeah.
much, and they didn't offer as many
It
crazy
became a
services.
thing later. I think you're right. Yeah.
Is college even worth it nowadays? I don't know. Move on with the story.
Chris Gerhardt went to the University of Wisconsin. After just 3 weeks at school, he asked one of his classmates to be the best man at his wedding.
Oh, he's getting married?
His bride.
That's news to me.
Yeah, it's news to everybody.
Oh.
His bride, Amy Janine Gersild, had
From
the one
South
thing.
Africa?
No.
Okay.
She had the one thing he wanted the most, which was the ability to get
Pussy.
him a green card.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, she had the ability to get him a green card?
Because she's American.
And
He's an
so he's
American.
like a good-looking dude. So he's talking this woman into shit that he needs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you have to be good looking to talk women into shit.
Yeah, I know a lot of
I'm just
ugly
imagining
guys.
like a German dude that dresses a certain way and treats people like shit. He's got to be good looking for people to listen
I
to
can't
him.
think of a good looking German, but
No?
if I think of one, I'm
David
not-
Hasselhoff.
Again, I can't think of a good.
Is he not a good-looking German? I mean, I'm straight. I'm like, he's a good-looking dude. I'd paint a picture of him.
No, I don't know. I don't see him as good looking.
Okay.
I have a fucked up taste.
That's fair.
You like the guy from
What are you into?
I have a fucked up
Friday the
semen
13th.
palate.
Here's some mint
no, I
jelly
just
before the
like-
next tasting.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're out of mint jelly. We've tasted too many cums.
That's fucking gross. This is a
Sorry.
cummy episode.
Sorry.
Sorry, Mom. This is a really cummy episode.
Your mom knows how to
Eleanor's episode
download
is the
podcast. Good for her.
Eleanor's the cummiest of our episodes. We're like, welcome our guest. She's into this is the cummiest episode yet.
The Tony
Jesus.
Hinchcliffe episode was pretty cummy.
Oh, good.
And the Brian Moses episode was also pretty cummy.
I'm starting to think our show is pretty cummy.
yeah.
This is a cummy show.
Hinchcliffe brings a lot of cum.
He does.
Welcome to our
All over his
episode of
face.
Cum.
It's
Yeah.
the same syllables too, and we use the same C.
You know what? That we could change. That could solve our naming problem. It's just name the show Cum.
I'm not gonna name
No,
the
there's
show Cum.
but there's Cum Town, which is Nick Mullen's podcast. So
Oh,
more-
it's already done.
Ugh,
What's it about?
coming on towns, I guess.
That's weird. People are gonna leave this
Exciting.
podcast to go listen to that. I'd rather listen to a story about coming
About
on
coming
towns
everywhere?
than any crime in the
All right,
history.
I'll keep bringing it up.
Just dudes fucking hanging out of airplanes or helicopters just coming as they're flying by.
Chris and Amy went to the courthouse with Chris's friend from school and Amy's sister Elaine, who was actually at the time Chris's real girlfriend.
Oh my God! This guy writes. This is
shit.
So he
right.
got his girlfriend to get her sister to marry him for a green card.
what kind
play
of
of
girl? What kind
real.
of sister would do that to her own sister?
Did he start the game? I'm just asking. I mean,
He
he's
is
the
the
original
game.
player. Yeah.
Does the
He's
sister
great.
know that she's getting played and she's just playing into it?
Yeah,
to
yeah,
help
they're
out?
all on
They're all
board.
They're all on board.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no one's
He
getting
said
fucked
he
over
did. He
here.
said he said he didn't want to get drafted into Germany's war. They were about the Cold War against
So
Russia.
they were the heartstrings. He was pulling on those dumb
Yeah.
Yeah.
female heartstrings.
heart-
I mean, it's
labia
Wisconsin, so I mean, really, is that difficult?
We're so sorry.
Wow, that was the most condescending. I wish we had an alarm.
For what?
Most condescending thing I've heard in this podcast. He said it was Wisconsin. I know a lot of smart people from Wisconsin.
Name four.
Where are
I don't
they?
know anybody from
yeah.
Wisconsin.
But I'm
I
just
know
saying.
1,000 people from Wisconsin.
Are any of them like?
No.
They're all knuckle draggers.
Yes.
Really?
Pretty much.
Oh, I feel bad.
What's dumber, Wisconsin or your neighborhood in Philly?
We're not dumb. We're like smart. You know what I mean? No.
That was a good argument.
We're like kind of smart, you know.
That was a good. That was
We're
a
at
fucking
least street
terrifying
smart.
argument.
We're not going to let that fucking weirdo
Yeah.
in our house, especially a Nazi.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, we're very racist.
Okay, so his dad. Part of why they were so poor was his dad was ill.
He was a Nazi.
because his dad took a wound during World War II as a German soldier and
Yeah.
had like a lung issue.
But that doesn't. Yeah. Oh, that's probably sad. I mean, you know, those soldiers.
Chris and Amy signed the paperwork and ensured that
shame.
Chris would stay in the country. After that day in the courthouse, the newlyweds never saw each other again. Chris
just pieced out.
He immediately packed his bags and headed for the city that had been calling him ever since he was a kid.
I hope it's New York.
Hollywood.
Oh, shit.
And now he's the head of what agency? Come on, just tell us.
It's William Morris.
Roman Polanski ended up being a great...
Oh, yeah. Well, I hope it's got the fuck story real long and detailed. Go for it. Our audience will love it.
1981
That's when I was born.
was a year of big things.
I was in 81, guys.
All
the
right,
birth
calm down.
That's why I always wear that jersey when I'm at home by myself.
The birth of John Shefsky.
Stop rubbing it in my face. 81.
The birth of MTV. Indiana Jones
really?
made his silver screen debut.
Okay.
And Ronald Reagan became the 40th president of the United States.
Yeah, he did a lot of good for us.
It was the beginning of a time of American excess.
feel like
So
we're
when
in this
Christopher
again.
Chichester...
Yeah, it's very similar, isn't it?
It was
Sorry.
the beginning of a time of
He
American
looked
excess.
pissed when he's like, guys,
Well,
can I
no,
finish
my
explaining
rhythm
this?
is just a little bit off.
But
'cause I
rhythm
was
is a dancer.
I
You
was
know what?
about
Such
to
a
drop.
dancer.
You know what?
We were going up the roller coaster. The drop was about to hit.
Okay,
and
well,
then
let's get to the
That's
drop.
the most angry you've been on this show.
Damn it.
This is angry.
Yo, that's very
Boy.
angry. We come from very sheltered backgrounds.
Yeah, this is
Sorry.
This,
Stop yelling at me, guys!
this is Jew angry.
Yeah.
Guys, come on, let me finish.
Nervous Jews. All right.
Oh no, you haven't seen my parents.
So when Christopher Chichester,
That's not
the
what I remember.
13th Baronet of Chichester, England,
Yes.
breezed into the wealthy suburb, LA suburb of San Marino, no one batted an eye.
Oh, he took that name and then
Nice.
okay.
With his aristocratic clothes, manners, and accent, the baronet quickly became a staple of the social scene. He charmed wealthy widows and escorted them around town on his arm.
Nice.
Christian
sounds
Karl Gerhartsreiter had finally become an entirely different person, and everyone bought it hook, line, and sinker. With the last name of his teacher crushed from Connecticut, he developed a whole new identity. His story, that he was descended from British royalty, Lord Mountbatten, the last British viceroy, and Sir Francis Chichester, who famously sailed around the world in his ship, the Gypsy Moth.
And none of this is true.
These are real people that he is not
Never.
descended from.
Oh, okay, but the
He
stories
has
are
nothing
real.
to do.
Okay.
The stories
They're
are real.
real. So it's like people. Oh, I heard of him. Oh,
He Forrest
wow,
Gumped
you're part of
himself.
that right?
He
right.
inserted himself into stories that already
Like
existed.
a bunch of
Yes.
narratives. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yes.
So what's he done that's bad? That's my question.
Well, we still have a lot of pages to go.
Okay, keep going.
I see that. I'm like
You're making her
worried
nervous.
about your ink.
Oh, I quick print, please.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
He would often give out an oversized calling card embossed with the Chichester family crest and the family motto, Firm en foi, meaning firm in faith. He once showed off an article from a nearby
I
town's
fucking hate that type of shit.
Yeah.
That cocky, pretentious, like, what do you fucking mean? Everyone in your family has the same fucking ideology?
Oh, that's what you're. I thought you were into like the calling card douchiness of being
Yes.
like, "Hey, here's my credentials." But
No,
you're
like a
objecting to
fucking a family alma mater or whatever. Like, fuck off.
You're
What? That's so fucking dumb. No, that doesn't annoy you. Oh my god,
Well,
that like
interesting
fucking
fact,
poked me in the fucking
my
kidney.
family
I was like,
has-
what
That's
the
how you get a
fuck?
rise out of you.
What the fuck is like? Who the fuck? Yeah, that is. Here's what we believe in. My like, I don't
family.
fucking. Yeah.
Sorry,
like,
you have no beliefs or convictions, dude. But
Yeah.
some people they have
AKA
morals
the
and
royal
ethics.
family.
yeah,
Hello.
well, no, I don't want to insult anyone. I'm not. I'm
you
not trying
are
to.
insulting everybody in Chichester.
Ugh.
That's not even a real place.
Yes,
he
It
made
is
it up.
specifically a place.
Such a place.
If there's a place named Chichester, then
St. Richard was from there.
fuck. All right, you guys are probably right. But these business cards with a family motto on it,
That's
you know,
really funny.
I used to
though.
tattoo people would get like fucking. They'd get like a family crest on their back, like the whole thing. You're like, but like you don't even, like we looked it up on the internet. We don't even know if it's the real like what a quote. You have a quote. What are you a fucking your family's a fucking incorporated or what? Maybe they are. I don't know. But go on with the story. I'm cool with it now. I'm
It's
over
all a lie, just so you know. So
all a
calm
lie?
the fuck down.
The whole
All
thing's a
go
lie?
ahead.
My
Yeah.
family crest says "I'm loving it" on it.
Okay, you guys are sponsored fucking shills, and I'm gonna take Eleanor's brutal, just fucking like get over the lie, John, like the Matrix lesson. She's my Morpheus. She just like, well, you'd be a good Morpheus
Never
for me.
seen The Matrix either.
You've never seen the Matrix?
Uh-oh.
It's like the Alan
Here comes that
Iverson
fucking
of
high
movies. It's the what the roast culture. Go on.
It's so angry.
Chris once showed off an article from a local newspaper in a different town,
I fucking hate local. No, I'm just joking. I was just
profiling Sir Francis and making note that his descendant Christopher happened to be living nearby.
Whoa.
Today, people think that he faked the article and he like printed it up and then brought it to town and be like, "Look how this other paper says that I'm descended from a famous guy."
Oh, like he showed it off.
Yeah.
I also don't like that either.
When he wasn't faking it in San Marino, Chris was faking it at USC Film School.
Uh-oh.
He took classes, attended special events, and spent hours reading screenplays from the library.
Oh, so he was actually studying.
But he wasn't enrolled for shit.
But most liars do study. Like, they read up on shit. I mean, that they have to back up their shit.
So in a way, we should pat them on the back and be like, hey, you studied.
Yeah.
You did your homework.
Hey, you did your homework. Like, he'd be in prison doing his homework.
And we'd be like, you got a degree
Getting
in
ready
prison.
to get out.
Yeah.
No one, he was so well connected that no one questioned the fact that he was there getting an MFA. They're all like, yeah, you belong here, obviously.
I've thought about that before. Like, you can just go to schools. I think they call it auditing. You just go to a school and just chill out in a class. Didn't they make Goodwill Hunting, which I've never seen? Didn't they make that about that?
Right, that's infuriating.
He was auditing with a broom and a mop handle because he was a janitor.
he wasn't auditing.
He wasn't actually. He was just brilliant, and he read books on his own time. It's a great film.
I'm going to see it. I'm a huge
Terrific.
Dustin
Nominated.
Hoffman fan, so I will see it one day.
Launched the career of the greatest actor of our generation, Ben Affleck. So
I'm sensing sarcasm.
Are you being serious?
He's Batman?
the greatest Batman.
I don't know if you've seen Mallrats, but Casual Male, he played that. He knocked that role out of the park.
He was the bomb in Phantoms.
Have you seen Mallrats?
No. Wait, Mallrats. I know that.
Yeah, Ben
That's,
Affleck knocks it out of the park as like
yeah.
a douchey dude that like works at a men's clothing store.
Yes.
So I mean, he is actually
Also
a pretty good
great in
actor.
Paycheck.
I haven't seen Paycheck. The Town.
Reindeer Games.
Those I haven't seen.
Despite all his
But I have
machinations,
rubbed one out to Ben Affleck.
Have
Yeah.
you?
I'm kidding.
I would.
He's a handsome.
Just to see if
now
I could.
that's a good-looking guy.
That's
Is
my.
he a good-looking
He's
guy?
my
Yeah.
test.
Do you think Jennifer Garner like matches up with his good looks?
Absolutely not.
No, I knew you were going to say that. The way you started shaking your head before you even said
Absolutely
anything.
not.
Absolutely not.
Bold-legged. Mm-mm.
Yeah, she has a strange whole situation.
I agree.
I think she
nice
could
girl, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think she can be really pretty, but
Her
Yeah,
credit
in a
card
sweet way.
commercials creep me out.
Jennifer Lopez. Now that was a match.
Ooh, Bennifer. I forgot about that.
but Jen seems so much cooler. Like you Jen,
Yeah, he seemed to have to keep up with her, but yeah.
But despite
know.
all of his
let's get back to
machinations,
China.
Let's talk about Jennifer Lopez's body.
there
Now,
was
I'm just joking.
there was one thing Chris couldn't fake: actual money. So
Yes, how do you do that? That's the whole thing. That's my crazy.
don't worry.
Okay, keep up with the Joneses.
I'm gonna give you a blueprint
How you get into
on
You
how
can
to
have
Joneses'
tabs
life.
at places, and then you just hang out with other rich people. Be like, I'll get you back
because
next time.
people get pissed off, and that word spreads quick.
Yeah.
Look, if somebody borrows $20 in this building, the Comedy Store,
Yeah.
everybody fucking knows about it.
Yeah.
If you don't get it back by
Because nobody
day
here
6.
has any money.
Exactly, but
He's in a place where they have all the money, so they're not as worried about it because it's a rich area.
You're
So
just like,
you don't think rich people who loan other people money.
can I borrow $20? Borrow, man. What is it?
Well, I'm saying
why don't you borrow a
20
quarter?
to them, it's 10,000.
Yeah, you wouldn't even say borrow. You just be like, can you get me right now, and then I'll get you next time. When you're paying, like you pull out a black MasterCard or whatever, you know, and you go like, oh man, mine's not, it's expired. Hey, can you get me right now? And like, if you're rich enough, they'll just be like, yeah, like we're already walking in, like just they're going to Disney.
I had a friend in high school who, whenever he went to a movies, he always just happened to have left his wallet somewhere else.
Yeah.
But
what if he actually just lost his
He
wallet?
would stop being my friend. That's who he would be.
Just because he's forgetful, Eleanor? I mean,
Fuck
he's a human
yeah.
being.
Fuck him.
Oh my God.
His wallet and his no money lying piece of shit.
What if he looks
I'm
like Ben
sorry,
Affleck?
guy.
He looks like
Fuck
Ben
that
Affleck,
guy.
though. He's
Well, if he was Benny,
then your tone
then I'd
changes.
pay for his
Have a
ticket.
seat right here, Benny.
Chris got around it how he could, indulging in the free food from his social clubs and church events.
That sounds pretty
and
good.
spending what money he did have to maintain his bourgeois appearance.
So like he bought diesel jeans and then he was broke again.
Yes.
Yep.
Chris found free lodging in the guest house of Dee Dee Sohus, an alcoholic widow who fell for his charms.
Nice.
Everything was fine until Dee Dee's adopted son John moved in with his wife Linda.
Well, that's always the beginning of something interesting.
John was a super dork who worked on computers at the Jet Propulsion Lab, while Linda was a knockout redhead who worked in a science fiction bookstore.
Ooh.
He was a nerd, she was hot, they had a new truck, 4 cats, and a horse.
I like these people. I mean,
I don't like cats.
I love cats and horses.
Disgusting.
John and Chris butted
amazing.
heads.
I hope the horses ate the cats.
That's fucking awful. You witch.
John and Chris did not get along. Not only did Chris appear to be taking advantage of his mother, but John was suspicious of the good-looking royal around his wife, who was, by all accounts, out of his league.
Oh.
John and Linda wanted out of the situation. An opportunity came in 1985 when John was offered a secretive government job out of state. They left town, telling Mother they would return in 2 weeks for their things.
Oh, no.
But weeks went by and the couple
horses
still
are
hadn't
gone.
returned.
I'm nauseous from
The couple still hadn't returned?
I know exactly what happened.
Dee Dee received a
angry.
pair of postcards from Paris, but her only information on her son came from her strange house guest. Around the same time,
This is eerie, dude.
Christopher had some
We
film
need
school
eerie music.
classmates.
Can we add eerie music to this part?
You can just be eerie music.
Who writes all this?
I wrote this.
You wrote all that?
I mean, I'll give the credit where it's due for all the sources at the end of the episode.
Got it. Okay,
but
so you wrote this out.
yeah, I adapted it from multiple sources.
It was like a bio of a criminal.
No, I mean it is.
Like, wow.
It is, but
you wrote it, right?
I adapted it from other sources.
They say make your bio long to make it look like you've done a lot, but
Yeah.
this is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
too much.
he's an asshole.
Coming up next, this guy reads 15 pages. Please welcome Christopher Karl Gerhartsreiter. Everyone's like, the check drops here. Can we
Yes.
please go home now?
Can we?
Comedy Inside Baseball. Where the heck was I?
I'm sorry.
We're all sorry at this point.
Around the same
Somebody
time,
got killed.
Christopher had some film school classmates over to his house for a game of Trivial Pursuit.
The house smelled kind of funny.
One of them asked why the entire backyard was dug up.
Oh, shit!
What the fuck is Widow doing at this point?
Drinking.
Like, just obviously.
Just drinking heavily.
So she's
look at
oblivious to
Yeah.
everything.
The ground is.
She's
coming
old, she's
apart.
rich, she's drunk. She's used to being alienated from whatever's going on.
He nonchalantly claimed he was having plumbing problems. No one asked about the chainsaw.
Oh my god, these fucking Germans, dude.
They're fucking crap.
I had a German roommate when I lived in Scotland.
He
Did
murdered
he have a
people
crap
too?
chainsaw?
He always wore black.
Nothing wrong with
He
that.
would go hang out at the cemetery and read poetry.
Nothing wrong with that. Go on. Tell me when the story gets weird, and then I'll fucking be interested. I'll be on your side. What else?
No, that's when he would have loud sex in
with
his
you.
room. We would hear honking sounds like he was blowing his nose.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird. See?
Are
I
you
knew
serious?
it.
yeah.
What do you mean honking sound? Like,
Did he have sinus problems?
have you ever seen those loud comer videos?
Like he can't come without coming out of his nose?
Have you ever seen those?
Fucked up.
Have you guys seen the loud comer videos?
Who?
On-
A loud comer.
Yeah,
We should have put
There's
that-
compilations of loud comers online that
I
are
don't-
just like
I
these
will be
videos
watching
of
that
people
later.
coming. You Google it. I think eFucked or one of those websites has it, right? And it's just like, have you seen it?
I want to tell everyone: do not go to eFucked.
Why?
It's like that is one of the most horrifically hot
Named.
websites
Yeah.
I've ever
Oh.
seen in my life.
I don't know if it's hot. I mean, you could find some hot things maybe blended in there, but most of it's just like
It's
really funny
horrible.
and weird. Yeah. It's more like after you've come that you can still see that
Well,
stuff
the
and not be
loud
aroused.
It's
fucking
comedy
is
porn.
fun.
It's
Is it
fucking
mo-
fun.
is
Like
it-
people will come like, oh,
It would be funny.
like just,
Is it mostly men?
no, it's everyone. Like
Okay, 'cause
a
girls-
woman grinding, be like, and you're just like you can't help but laugh because it's the way they cut it too is like it's edited really well. Like the clips are lined up to a point where you just get
Like girls are a little dramatic, but if a guy is coming like that,
Dude,
it's funny.
it's all
Always
funny.
There was a
It's all
girl in my
funny.
building who was a loud comer, and we had a courtyard where all the apartments faced in,
Yeah.
all their living rooms. And her bedroom would just open up and it would bounce off all the walls, and you'd see everyone just open their windows and like look at each other and be like,
yeah.
"Oh hey, she's fucking again."
Yeah, that's
it was
funny.
like once a
It's
week.
like the beginning of like a Disney film or like all
Yeah.
the village people like with
She's
their
fucking,
with their
she's
baguettes
fucking.
like, just looking out. Hello, she's fucking. Hello, good day, sir. No,
I
there's a-
think loud coming is funny.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Father told me I had to go to the shop to fuck.
There's a super loud coming girl in my building. Her name's John Shefsky. It's me. I come
That's
loud
awesome.
and I go.
My
I don't really.
my ex, I could never tell because he was so quiet, but he was in prison for a long time. So it was like, I was like, whoa, you really learned shit, then, huh?
Yeah, just
Keep it down, huh, buddy?
Yeah, you just learn how to come like inside your own head. And
He
you're
learned
just
how, he learned how to get you to fuck him in
I
the
was
ass
like,
really well.
Are you having fun? Like he was so fucking quiet.
Yeah.
You see how he's always behind me? Anyway.
Visual jokes for the audio podcast. 5 months after the couple disappeared, so did Christopher, along with the new truck.
Whoa.
The truck
So
would
he's
have-
on the run now from Widow Kelsey.
The truck would eventually show up in Greenwich, Connecticut, along with Christopher Crow, a young financial whiz with a hankering for private clubs and expensive clothes, custom-made shirts with a CCC monogram and a Burberry raincoat.
Oh, right there. I'm like, how'd you even get the raincoat part of your wardrobe? It's like
Wow.
thousands of dollars. Burberry, right?
At the Indian Harbor Yacht Club, Crow made friends with important men, quickly landing a job in computers at a top venture capital firm.
And has no idea about computers, I'm sure.
Instead of working, Crow spent his time on the trading floor, talking movies and showing off photos from his mansion in Paris.
This is some catch me if you can shit.
Oh, let's do that.
Let's see if you can catch him.
But this was short-lived.
like
Someone
that?
had the wherewithal to run a background check using his social security number. It
Whoa.
came back as the number for David Berkowitz, the son of Sam Killer.
Shut up.
Ew.
Crow was fired.
Oh no.
But the
he
guy's
got
probably
caught.
a murderer, and he did use a murderer's numbers. That's an interesting thing right there.
But-
and
that's
he
who he's
emulates
studying.
characters.
Yeah.
He emulates characters. He studies.
That's what he does.
Well, they try
I
to tell
told
the kids
you,
to study.
they do their homework.
They do their homework. They study. So in that way, we could say the three of us at the show, we commend them, right? We're
I
on
do.
board. They do their
Hard
homework,
work pays off.
right? You guys just support
Whatever
the
you do,
murderer.
just do your best.
Yeah.
You guys.
That's the
support
message
murder.
of this podcast.
You guys are on the side of criminals.
But Crow quickly landed another
I
job.
sleep with them. I don't give a shit.
That's true.
Well, then you're on a lot of sides of them. Sometimes underneath, sometimes on top. Go on.
Crow landed another job, this time at a Wall Street securities firm, making $150,000 a year.
Which isn't much now, but in those days, very impressive.
A press release from the company announced that they were opening a new division. Quote, Christopher Crow, who formerly ran the Battenberg Crow Van Wetten Foundation, will lead the endeavor as vice president. While he was capable of fooling the old blue bloods who ran the company, his co-workers immediately realized he had no clue what he was doing, and he was again fired.
Thank God.
Soon after, in
I
1988...
wonder what that experience is
So now
like.
we're in 88,
you're
7
just,
years later.
You're just sitting at your desk,
Yeah. Like,
and they come in. Did you get those reports done? You're like, didn't they do a Seinfeld episode of that? Didn't like
George Costanza or something?
George fake a job or something like that?
Yeah,
Like,
I think so. I think he had a job for years that he knew nothing about.
Yeah.
But he would just get by.
Is that what it's really like in real life? Trying to do
That's what it was like in the
I
70s and
guess.
80s.
But George didn't murder anybody, I don't think.
Did they
Dude, I want to see that episode.
Yeah, let's do
did
that.
a violent episode of Seinfeld?
Soon after, in 1988, the cops came looking for him in connection with a stolen car. Someone with his description had tried to sell a pastor in Greenwich. It was John and Linda's truck.
Whoa.
Christopher Crow disappeared.
But he's gonna pop up somewhere because he has to.
In the
There's like
early
40 more
90s.
pages
Yeah,
left.
there's so many pages. A stack.
Jesus
If you're
Christ.
listening, we've got a stack of papers that Rich is reading through.
In the early 90s, a young man began to make a splash on the New York social scene.
And reads him like a morning radio show host.
Yeah.
Go for it.
If you're just
know
tuning
what?
in
In
right
the
now,
early
if you're just tuning in right now, this man is a murderer.
It is wild.
It is. It's a hot day.
It's on the loose.
It's a hot day to kill, folks. I'm telling you. We'll be right back after this with your morning murders.
I put in so much effort trying to make this podcast.
Pick up that paper.
Are there any sounds that you're going to add to like a morning radio?
Pick up that paper and start reading it.
Yeah.
Pick up that
I
goddamn
got a
piece of
spot
tree.
tonight. Can you finish reading those fucking
That's
papers?
right. It's at 1, but so you better hurry up.
In the early 90s, a young man began to make a splash on the New York social scene. He had all the trappings of high society: the clothes, the prep school accent, a Gordon setter named Yates, and a growing collection of modern art. The man's name, Clark Rockefeller.
I'm starting to wonder.
Shit.
That's right. Christian Karl Gerhartsreiter was now apparently a member of one of the most prestigious families in the United States. Christian played the part of Clark almost perfectly, building a reputation of being obsessively concerned about security and privacy, giving him cover from most probing questions about his identity.
Yeah, because he's like, I would love to talk about that, but my family, we're not allowed to discuss that.
Yeah, it's not cool with us.
And
but-
that creates enough mystic stuff for you where it gets some panties wet, where people are like, whoa, we can't talk about it. And then there'll be like a
I'm
guy,
wet
there'll be like
now,
a cynic
just
like me in the
hearing it.
corner, be like, that fucking guy's a liar over there. And everyone's like, stop being so negative. John was like, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
He put on highly
No,
eccentric.
fuck you. Okay, go on.
He put on highly eccentric airs. He never ate in restaurants. Oh, not because of money, but because you could not trust the people in the kitchens.
Whoa. That still goes true today. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
You eat at
I've worked in
restaurants.
kitchens many times.
I just don't trust anybody in the kitchen.
But you know what you're getting, but you'll eat.
He refused to go to Connecticut, not because he was wanted for questioning, but because his parents were killed there in a car accident.
Oh.
He had an impressive collection of modern art, but in true trust fund fashion, he couldn't remember or pronounce the names of the painters, including Jackson Pollock, Piet Mondrian, and
Jesus.
Mark Rothko.
Everyone knows all
I guess
of
that
them.
movie wasn't made yet, Pollock, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known it.
My grandpa used to have
Well, it was
polyps in
done.
his colon. They got him, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got him. That was it. That was the big joke.
He's all right.
That was it.
How fucking dare you? You know what killed that joke? Your commitment to listen to it. Thanks for improvising with me. Yes, and.
He claimed to have inherited the works from his recently deceased great aunt Blanchette, who, quote, started that little museum on 53rd Street, also known as the New York Museum of Modern Art.
His
Small
quote-
museum. It's just me and Tom Chefsky's asshole.
Wait, what
Grandpa.
the fuck?
Grandpa's asshole.
You're Pollock? Al
Yeah.
Jackson, you're Pollock right now.
He's 80. He had a polyp, but the doctors got it all.
I put my finger to pop his pollock.
Oh, God. Gross. Popping things that are on or in the body is weird and gross. Like zits. But like, like popping
Like
zits.
in the asshole
But like a
zits?
zit that was inside your ass on the
You have a
inside?
zit inside your ass.
I don't.
Those
You
are
just said-
warts,
you
honey.
said popping
You have to
polyps.
get Yeah, a polyp is something bigger. No,
Just the visual of butt warts. Thank you.
All I keep seeing is what's his name? The guy who played him. Who played Polyp?
Anthony Hopkins.
No.
Oh, I just can't stop imagining.
Alan Arkin. Oh, is
Ed
that Harris?
Harris.
Okay.
Alan Alda.
Alan Iverson.
Alda.
Alan Iverson
I'm
played him.
attracted to Alan Alda.
Really?
Very sexy man.
I see your type now.
Do you?
Yeah.
Old
fucking
men
confusing.
actors.
Gray hair.
Yeah, old men actors.
Yeah, they call it daddy issues. I call it I need rent. So,
I should start dating some old actors then.
yeah, you got to get them widows. Fucking learn from Christopher Guest.
Smart fella.
Do you think your wife would be pissed, like if it really forwarded your career, but you had to like have an affair with somebody else?
Affair
she'd
with
be in on it.
with women or men?
With anybody, like if you had to have sex with someone to further
You
your
got
career.
really excited when you said men there.
Yeah,
Women
right?
are men. Because I've been
women
wanting.
are dicks because honestly, these
I've
pussies
been
are
thinking about
these
dicks
pussies
more
are
than
boring.
pussy lately.
You think the white man in a purple shirt might be a little bi? I mean, I don't know.
He's just a regular hero.
There's nothing wrong with it. We're gender fluid on this show.
As before,
Except for me, I'm a man.
Clark became a regular at a prestigious church, which he used to make his social contacts.
Of course, this fucking con artist worked his way into religion, right?
It was there that he met Julia Boss,
Go where the money's
smart, attractive, and engaged. But she had a twin sister, Sandra, a Stanford grad getting her MBA at Harvard.
We call that a double. Nice.
That's right.
Julia offered to set them up, but Clark had a better idea. He threw a Clue-themed party at his apartment, where all the guests would come as characters from the game.
And he really murdered someone.
He dressed as Professor Plum, the Harvard archaeologist who is ironically uncomfortable with questions about his past. Sandra came as Miss Scarlet, the femme fatale, a down-on-her-luck actress who wants to marry Rich.
Nice.
Sandra fell in love with
AKA
Clark.
Eleanor.
There's a little bit of all of us in this story. Yeah, I feel a little bit more like a Snooks, the 8-year-old who was left outside in the snow.
Right.
But you can
Callback.
You can be a
That's a
Scarlet.
callback.
I was a biscuit on that show.
What kind of biscuit?
Just a flavorful biscuit.
The ones with filling inside.
It didn't eat or get eaten. It's just a biscuit.
Sandra fell in love with Clark, both for his eccentric personality and with the idea of marrying into a prestigious family like the Rockefellers.
Oh, yeah, right?
She didn't question Clark's story that his father's money had been wiped out by a lawsuit. She was just happy to have a smart, educated, worldly man who supposedly cared as much as she did about setting up nonprofits to help relieve international poverty.
Nice.
That's how I feel about our friendship.
Oh, man.
That's how I feel about all this thing.
They soon married in a small ceremony.
Do you say Elvis?
All of this whole thing that we're
okay.
doing now.
This
I
is
feel about Elvis's thing, too.
Yeah, I've never been so bored.
Do you think Elvis was
Anyway,
hot?
I'm kidding.
You fucking bitch.
Clark Gable did what? I'm sorry.
They
Thinking
soon
of
married in a
something else.
small
Welcome to the show. We're being
ceremony.
fucking just roasted by our bitch ass guest.
Clark's famous family,
one
his
answered the
Rockefeller
Elvis
father, and his mother, child film star Ann Carter,
Wow.
obviously could not attend because they were dead.
Yeah.
The other Rockefellers were supposed to come, but a dispute arose, and Clark disinvited them at the last minute.
So wealthy of him. Like, that's such a rich family thing to do. We had a fight. We're not having Christmas. What? No.
Sandra rose through the ranks of the financial world, pulling in hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in salary, while Clark ran a nonprofit advising third world countries on finances called Asterix LLP, from which he took no salary because, as he explained, the countries were too poor for him to charge them. Now, I think it's
Explain to me
ironic.
what the fuck's going on.
She's working a big-ass job in finance, making tons of money.
Right.
Yeah.
He's pretending to run a nonprofit for the third world because then he can make up the lie of, well, I'm not charging them, so I'm not making a salary because they're so poor, but you're making enough money that we can do this fine.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Nonprofit means profit, though. Don't they usually make money?
Yeah, yeah.
So-
oh, yeah. They make money.
Well,
They just
that's
don't make a
the part that
certain
pisses
amount. And
me
they don't have
off.
a board that can't drain them. or
The
whatever.
rules of the way nonprofit works is that the money, like, you can't
Well, maybe
pay
in
out share-
'87 it was real.
You
and
seem really
then we
interested
just
in how to
ruined
do
it.
this.
Oh, you're right. I'm just saying.
You know, I'm not going to explain how nonprofits work.
I'm trying to
but I will
come up with a
defend their-
future. You know what I mean?
Isn't it funny in comedy where you're always like, I could do that? You're like,
Wait a minute. So what he did was like,
any job that we're like, how much did you
I'm
make?
studying right now.
I could do that.
I'm
yeah,
doing my homework.
We can start a nonprofit, but I think like a lot of nonprofits are actually like run by people that are doing good shit, and then
There's very
there's
few.
a way,
Yeah.
there's a way to like do it and basically
Manipulate
have a
it,
business
yeah.
that makes a profit, but you can never go public, so you can never like have like your stocks and all
Like
that stuff and be like billionaires like that.
billionaires, right.
But you could still be like a dude that makes $300,000 a year with your charity. Like I'm pretty sure that's how it
Okay.
works. 'Cause I've met some nonprofit scummy.
So I'm
fucking
saying
people, so.
my question is his wealthy wife, wouldn't she be like, you're not making any money? I mean,
No, she didn't.
She didn't care.
He had a huge dick, and he was good at lovemaking.
Honestly, he has to, because if you don't have the big dick, you're not confused.
Right?
Like, I've gotten confused.
By big
guys.
dick?
Yeah.
The dick was just so big, you're like, oh, my brain doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
You
it's
want it
true.
to be
You're
something.
like, oh, I didn't
All
even
the blood
see
is
that.
rushing just to repair your vagina so your brain doesn't actually
Yes,
work.
there's nothing
The
in my
dick's so
brain.
big you literally can't see it. I didn't see it
Trust
coming
me.
because the dick was blocking my view.
Yes, I've
of
wasted
life.
years and years
Yeah.
on big dick.
Haven't we all? The couple collected art and attended social events. While they pretended to be humble, those around them were sure to notice the little things. Everyone at work was quietly
Like
aware.
dead bodies behind
Yeah,
them.
right.
Yeah.
What's
Your-
that little thing? Is that a young one?
Yeah,
Oh,
your
okay.
stories never check out.
Everyone at work was quietly aware that Sandra had married a Rockefeller. They regularly met friends and acquaintances for drinks and dinner at the most prestigious private clubs, where the staff would always greet them with, "Good evening, Mr. Rockefeller." Once at such a dinner, a friend commented they could see Rockefeller Center in the distance. Clark pulled a key out of his pocket and declared, "Yes, I have the key right here."
Oh my God. What
He
a fucking dorky dork.
Super
What a dorky thing to do.
So, okay, go ahead.
And so,
If he wasn't a murderer, I would think
in
this
the
guy's
notes,
hilarious.
So I read a book
Yeah.
on this story that I'll tell you guys, but I'll plug the book at the end of the show. But in the book, there's all these comments about from interviews he made.
I like that
the
you're
author
worried
wrote.
about me doing research. This fucker's read a book. He
Oh,
wrote
yeah,
a
yeah.
bio for this fucking guy.
I think he is a criminal in the
Keep a
making.
watch on
well, that's why
him.
I'm sticking close to him, because maybe we'll make a bunch
And
of cash.
I am Christian Karl Gerhartsreiter.
Yeah, that's the end of the episode.
Are
He's
you
like,
his grandson?
But a lot of people would say people claimed a lot of these stories here. People were like, "Well, I knew he was full of shit when he did this."
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
He loved to order oysters Rockefeller. Joking that the dish
one time I fell on a rock, if you get my drift.
Is that right, fella?
Because of my family name, yes.
I knew a feller who played in a band.
That's right. A rock and roll band.
Hey, you might have called him a Rockefeller.
Have you ever rocked a fella? He tells people that.
He would
Yes,
joke
yes,
that the
I have.
oysters.
I know you have.
He joked that the oysters baked in spinach was named after his family because it was green like money.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
that's funny, dude. And his wife's just like, isn't he charming? Everyone's like, your husband's a fucking cock.
Delicious.
Isn't he not a douche?
Yeah. He's everything a douche is.
Sandra became pregnant in the year 2000.
Oh, but his sperm works.
Around the same time, police came by
Always.
their home to follow up on a report of a confrontation between Clark and a woman in the local park.
Please tell me she fell down a flight of steps.
I don't know, actually. I don't know much about that confrontation.
Okay.
But soon after, Clark
No,
announced that...
I mean, the baby didn't survive.
Oh, the baby. Oh, no.
That's a.
The baby is kind of a linchpin in this story, just so you know.
I don't care how he killed her. Just
He
make sure
is
that
the baby.
did not survive. Yeah.
Soon after the police came knocking, Clark announced he didn't want to live in Manhattan anymore, and the family was now moving to New Hampshire.
Of course.
They paid $750,000 for Doveridge, a historic estate in Cornish, New Hampshire.
What year is this? $750,000 for a
2000.
house in 2000, and they're
Yeah.
supposed to be related to the Rockefellers.
Yeah. But remember, two things about it. One, he claimed that he lost all of his family's money was in a lawsuit, was lost and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Secondly, and I didn't put this in the story earlier, he claimed that he part of like a separate branch. So there's the John D. Rockefeller branch.
Yeah.
And like some guy with a P, like a Percy Rockefeller or something
Oh,
like
okay.
that.
Yeah, he's a different tribe.
And also wealthy, but not as crazy wealthy as the John D.
As the-
branch.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
he-
now he's on the P's.
Yeah. So he knew he's like created enough steps away where he
It's
can
hard to figure out
plausibly
that- yeah.
pull
But
off.
now it's 2000, and
Yeah.
Google's around.
Not as much as it is today.
Still
You'd
early.
be surprised. 2000.
This is
Okay.
pre
like
this
a
is
new
pre
thing.
iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
People
you're
are still
right. Yeah,
wearing
you're
Palm
right.
Pilots
2000, like
and
yeah.
pagers.
God, time just, I don't know where
I had a
it
way
goes.
different cell phone in 2000. I think I had a cell phone.
He had Snake.
I
maybe.
know I did have a cell phone, and I remember it had like a weird leather case and a big
Yeah,
Zach
like a green
Morris
screen on it.
fucking-
And it,
No,
like,
it was a flip, I think.
see, mine wasn't. I
It was
just
the
had, like-
Razor.
I had one
The
of those.
Razor.
Oh
Right?
no, the Razor
I
was
remember the
way
Razor.
newer than this. No, this was older than that. This didn't have colors like the Razor. You could play Tetris in color. Go on with your story.
Cornish, New Hampshire was home to such luminaries as J.D. Salinger and other
yeah.
big rich old people.
Oh, so exciting! J.D.
While
Salinger.
Sandra traveled the globe on business, her
a
husband
basketball
quickly
player?
made it known that a Rockefeller had moved into town.
Oh, made it. Okay,
He-
so
he-
now everybody's, oh shit, a Rockefeller. Only the D side.
Some
Well-
guys like the oysters.
Not the D branch, the P branch. No, wait, P is good and
Yeah.
D is bad.
John D is the good branch.
Okay,
Whatever
D
P,
is-
Peter, Percy, Percival,
Right.
yeah, Patrick, whatever.
Yeah, you want to get some D. You don't want to get some P.
So Peter Pecker's in town.
But Cornish, unlike New York and L.A., was not impressed.
Right.
This is a town where everyone had money, so it was unfashionable to show off.
Oh, they're like, yeah, you got
And
money?
where-
Great. Join
where
the
is
club.
this?
Cornish, New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. Oh, yeah.
His antics were over the top. Riding through town on a Segway, hiring a chauffeur in an armored Cadillac.
That's hilarious.
And the worst offense, of
Should have
course,
stayed in Beverly Hills.
name dropping.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to hang out with him, but some of the stuff is
Everyone,
hilarious.
but that is such a clear sign. The name dropping, the bullshit like that. Ugh, it's giant.
I
sign
tell
on
people
your
I know
head.
you.
I know, and people kick you out.
That's
I
true.
get it.
That's
So
true. It's
I don't
actually
know why
really,
you
it's
would
really,
use
it's
it.
really hurt my career. I was like, we're doing a podcast with Eleanor Kerrigan. They're like, well, we don't like podcasts.
That's nice of you to be nice to the elderly. Yes.
But
Is that what you
Clark's,
refer to yourself as now? Listen,
I'm just kidding. So 2000.
But
we're
Clark's
on a Segway
life-
and we're dropping names.
Oh, yeah.
2000, Eleanor just turned 93.
it's so hard to pick up names from a Segway, though. That's the problem because it's.
Yes.
I mean, the balance it won't tip over.
Wait, the actual
But-
Segway?
yeah.
Pick
Oh,
up names from a Segway.
but this guy rode around on a Segway.
on a Segway, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, go on.
But Clark's life took a turn on May 23rd, 2001, when Sandra gave birth to their daughter, Restoro Mills Rockefeller,
Restoro Mills
So you
Rockefeller.
have the daughter.
who Clark promptly nicknamed Snooks.
Is that named after something that I should know?
Yes, even his
Snooks.
daughter's nickname was a fraud, stolen from the girl he left locked out in the cold over 20 years ago.
Ew.
Oh, I thought she was going to be
weird.
Snooky.
Oh,
from the
that'd be
Jersey
so
Shore.
good.
Sure.
Yeah, so that'd
that
be
would make
killer.
sense. She would seem like she'd be raised by like a
That
crazy
would be
con
so
artist,
good.
right?
She's just this
I
little
had
angry
to cut.
thing.
I had to cut so much stuff for time in this story.
And
You
yet
think?
still,
And you
But-
still have
and yet
20
still-
pages.
I cut down like a couple pages on this one. But there's so many things I had to cut out and cut down on. Every piece of his identity is a callback to something else. Like he basically just he like Dane Cooks his whole life,
wow.
So
where he
rude.
absorbs it and then just comes back out
You
into his
think
new
he's the
story.
biggest criminal as Dane Cook? This guy.
Oh, bigger.
I can't
Bigger.
believe that we're gonna say it here on the show. Dane Cook is a criminal.
Yes.
There's a warrant out for his
He
arrest.
has killed.
Well, the whole point of the
as
story
He
is
has
that this
killed
is actually
plenty
Dane
of
Cook.
crowds with lies.
Bringing it back up with compliments, then bringing it back down with a diss at the end. Ladies and gentlemen, Eleanor Day Kerrigan. There you go.
Even
thanks for
let's
the
see.
J. Okay.
Despite all his faults, Clark
Stands
was
for
a
Juan, right? Yes. Okay, go on.
Clark was a dedicated father, spending
I'm
near
classy.
all his time at home as a stay-at-home dad.
Well,
Nothing wrong
of
with
course, he
that.
doesn't have a job, this fucking putz.
Hey, some people do that because they love their kids. aight?
No. Bullshit.
He took a hands-on approach to his daughter's education.
By strangling her. Physically, hands-on approach. Okay.
Friends say she was reading out loud before the
Now
age of
she
3.
can only come that way.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry.
He's a weird father. I'll tell you that much.
She can only come in an ascot.
Okay.
When she turned 5, they enrolled her in the prestigious Southfield School for Girls in Boston, buying a $2.7 million home and moving to the city for her sake. Or so he claimed. In reality, Cornish had begun to question Clark's identity.
Wait, his wife?
No, Cornish, the town, the
town.
New Hampshire town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thought he married
His wife
the
is
town.
Sandra.
His wife is still in on this.
She doesn't know.
Why
She-
are they all shitting on my husband?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Or
She-
she's willfully
They talk
ignoring
about it in bed, and she's like, I just don't know why they're all so mean to you, honey. And he's like,
It-
I know. I'm
It
such a
goes
victim.
back to that big dick. And her not
Actually,
seeing
she's
it.
stroking his dick while she's saying that.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know what they're seeing. I'm seeing something different.
Yeah,
I
and he's
didn't
getting harder as she's
I
saying
didn't
it.
mean to
He's like,
mime it on the mic.
For,
like,
for the home listeners, Eleanor was
like
beating
I
off the
said,
microphone.
I'm very hungry.
His over-the-top expressions of wealth stood out among the truly upper-crust members of town. Whispers spread that he might not be who he claimed to be. Questions grew when an article by Clark appeared to have been plagiarized from a speech by Michael Crichton.
Michael Crichton plagiarization.
Okay.
Welcome to Jurassic Park. That's all I know from him.
But as always, Clark got out right on time. In the fancy neighborhood of Beacon Hill, he committed fully to his new role, the wealthy stay-at-home dad. Every morning he walked his daughter to the school bus, then made his way to a coffee shop to mingle with local elites. Again, he made sure everyone knew of his wealth, dropping not-so-subtle hints like, I'm so tired. I just carried an armoire to the 5th story of my house.
That's hysterical.
Right?
Oh, it sounds like a lot of people I know. Oh, man, I'm exhausted. I just went on a bunch of auditions today,
Yeah.
and my manager keeps wanting to meet up with me because of this TV project I'm working on. And it's like, I booked these 2 things, and I can't pick which one to do. I'm like, oh, fuck, man, I'm so sorry.
My favorite
It
is the
sounds so
person who
stressful.
pulls into the Comedy Store lot and they still have the sticker from whatever, like from the Warner Brothers lot or I see that so many people like, oh yeah, I'm wearing my badge from when I was at Universal. I forgot it was still on there, dude. I should take it off real quick.
I mean, that seems legit though. You do forget like if you're wearing something, so that's pretty fucked up.
It sounds like you've done this.
I go like this, and I have it tattooed on my chest. It's from this time that I got to go to craft services and get whatever I wanted. Okay, go on.
But his focus was now on his daughter, who he insisted take his wife's maiden name, Boss, in order to shield her from the judgment that comes with a name like Rockefeller.
And then they made the movie that Melissa McCarthy starred in.
When we
The
was
Boss?
That? Oh, The Boss.
Yeah.
Snap.
Is she her?
Have they titled the movie Oysters Rockefeller yet? Because that would be cool.
That's a good
for
one.
a title.
We
Oysters
should do
Rockefeller,
that.
right?
Let's try to pitch that later today.
Already a
This
sharp
podcast
reader.
is
Rich
pitching
can
it out.
write it because he's good at fucking writing
Oh,
shit out.
he has arthritis because he
I can bang this shit out.
go
bruh.
type it up.
Do you type or write?
Type.
Handwrite. Okay.
I mean, it's typed.
This is handwritten.
No,
No,
I see that, but I'm saying like
My handwriting is fucking
is a
god awful.
initially, do you like look up things and then write it down?
Do you
I
jot
might
a
make
note?
some notes
And-
occasionally, just to
Okay.
like to block out the story.
Got it.
And then
Got
once I have it all rhythmed out, then it's like,
It's
boom,
amazing.
let's go to typing.
Do you work this hard on your act? I'm just asking for a friend.
Never this hard on my act. Where the hell was I? Already a sharp reader, she gained attention for her precocious intelligence. Her picture made the cover of the neighborhood paper when she made a chalk drawing on her street corner of the entire periodic table of the elements.
Wow.
So she's 5, she can read, she knows chemistry, she's a good speller.
She's not perfect.
sounds like a unrealistic. Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't sound like she's really that good at all.
Do you think he
I'm
did
starting
it?
to wonder. Yeah, maybe.
made it like
I never even
she
thought
did
that
it?
maybe he did it.
No, are you serious?
shit.
That never even occurred to me that maybe he was the one who drew the periodic table
Like,
elements.
look at my daughter, dude.
Yeah.
She's so special.
They found
Goodwill
stuff. They've had that
hunting,
stuff happen
too.
before. They've had that stuff happen before where people are like, your
Please,
kid
of
doesn't
course.
paint this shit. You painted this
Yeah,
shit. I
yeah.
fucking hate that. I'm just joking.
My favorite thing is the elephants that paint.
That's how I got through school. My mom did my homework.
Oh, dude,
But I still was getting D's.
The child was happy, but the parents were not.
fucking dumb mom. Sorry about your mom. You know what I'm saying? You should say sorry, mom. Sorry, Eleanor's mom. I'm sorry. I am sorry about
She'll
that.
fight you
I've
right
I've
now.
never met her. Yeah,
She's cute.
Is she a crazy Philly lady? Does
Yeah.
she have razors in her hair?
No.
Okay, but she'll shank me.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
classier.
Okay, cool.
The child was happy, but the parents were not. They disagreed on how to best discipline their daughter. Eventually, things came to a head, and Sandra served her husband with divorce papers. This would prove to be the beginning of the end.
Because things start unraveling. Like,
Things devolved into a nasty custody battle. Sandra quickly shut off the money faucet, leaving Clark without the cash that had propped up his Rockefeller persona. Sandra's father, suspicious that Clark might be hiding Rockefeller money from her to protect it from the divorce,
started to do a little research.
began to research more deeply into his former son.
And now what? We're in 2000 or 2000 and
Probably
We're getting-
2002.
Probably
no,
at
we're
least
later.
2.
We're getting close to
2004, 2005, 2006.
we're getting
No.
close to
Somewhere in that
Google.
range.
Google.
We're in the Google range
We're in
now.
Google.
Now we're
This
getting
is
Google.
mid 2000s.
Okay, we're not in
Mid-
Google range.
Not
I mean,
fully in Google range.
it's
but we're
mildly
close.
Google.
This is around 05-ish.
You'd be
Okay.
on like a weird HTML website and you'd be like, I don't know if this is real or not, but it's
But
saying
you could
something.
still look shit up.
Yeah,
like,
you could look up some stuff.
Immediately, Sandra's father discovered something huge. Ann
It
Carter.
was her husband's cock. Oh, okay, sorry. Because you.
And
you
now
know.
he's all hooked on it.
yeah, he's like, I can't give the guy up.
You know what? He is a Rockefeller. I totally get it now.
Your heart is a
Help him with
Rockefeller.
these
I'll tell you that
Man,
right
I
now.
cannot sit down. It hurts so bad. But this
my
guy's
index
definitely a
finger can't touch
Rockefeller.
my thumb. All right, go on.
Ann Carter, the child actress and his supposedly dead mother.
Darren Carter, the party
The
starter.
party starter.
he is a con
thrilling.
artist, folks. Okay,
Ann Carter, the child actress and his supposedly dead mother,
Okay.
so that was a nice remount.
was very
Wait.
much alive.
Oh, the Ann Carter was alive.
She's a real person. It's a real actress, real person.
Yes.
He's been claiming she's dead for all this time, but there was no Wikipedia until now. And now he's like, oh, wait. She's actually still alive somehow.
And then he has an excuse for it. I couldn't bear to reveal my childhood with her, and she's dead to me.
There you go.
Is that what happened?
Dad showed Sandra what he had found, and she hired a private investigator to uncover the truth.
Creepy.
Clark, worried about being exposed as Christian, took a deal. He would get $800,000 in cash, and she would get everything else, including custody of his daughter, allowing him just 3 supervised visits a year. So it's like, hey, you know what? You don't need to check into my back. You don't need to do anything like that. Just give me like a little bit of money and take the daughter and take all this stuff, and we're good. That's how.
So now he was like kind of pulling back, like, you know what? Just leave it alone, please. Just leave it alone.
He tried to fill the void of his missing daughter and missing life by courting wealthy women with wild
I
tales.
thought you were saying just eating himself to death, just gorging. That's how I do it. I'd be like, I guess I'm just gonna eat a lot of carbs.
Is that what you do?
Everyone's.
Eat
I'm gonna
carbs?
punish you guys and order pizzas for myself.
He tried to fill the void. Oh, yeah. He told one woman he was the basis for the character Niles Crane from the show Frasier,
Yes.
which is not dissimilar to my weird lie.
Yeah,
Yeah, right?
You're a murderer, possibly.
He went on a
This
date.
is so you. If it ends up that it's you and we have to run out of here, this is going to be fucking great.
Man, I could use the press. I wish
Yeah.
this was me.
Yeah, you could go around. You could get improv gigs around
Easily.
the country. Yeah.
Dude,
Are you
I would
Snooki?
be headlining if this was me.
Yeah,
all
totally.
over the country.
Totally. They'd be like, this guy's fast.
It'd be
Yeah, he's
half-filled
fat.
rooms, but I'd be headlining.
Yeah, you'd get the
They'd be
chick-
B clubs, but I would be headlining.
You get the
Doesn't
chicken
matter.
fingers. Yeah, you
That's
get the
right.
chicken fingers. It'd be all right.
He went on a date with a wealthy oil baroness, telling her he was leaving soon for a trip to China to do some work as a nuclear physicist. But first, he had to give a tour of the Metropolitan
These are
Museum
such
of
hard
Art to
things
his
to
daughter's
fake.
class.
Yeah, right?
Dude, such hard things to fake. Well, pick something else, right? Like just like a business owner.
Yeah,
And you'd be
just
like, I
say
just
you're
dictate. I just dictate.
Well, he's
Fifth banana
a
in a
nuclear
shitty
artist. That's what
sitcom.
he's telling her. He's like, well, I'm going to go do nuclear physics, but first I have to give a tour of the Met. So
Oh, my God.
Now I'm starting to think this guy's kind of.
she
a
didn't
jerk.
buy his act, especially when he tried to flirt over text. And here are some of my favorite texts that he
So
flirted
there
with her
is
with.
texting
Quote,
at this point.
Just gazed at Saturn for the last 10 minutes. Wish you could see this. Wish I could see you. Read the first text.
Wait, a text like that doesn't work? Oh, fuck.
Here's another one. In a
Delete.
quote, in a submarine, crowded, strange. Thought of you a minute ago.
You up?
And he gets text service in a fucking submarine, this cocksucker?
What provider are
Yeah,
you
what-
on? Can you hear me now?
Is he with Bin Laden at this point?
He is Bin
And they're
Laden.
just texting?
part of the 9/11.
Here's my personal favorite. Quote, sipping tropical drinks on Nantucket now. Would love to see you. This coming week, perhaps, go to Central Park and kiss. Sound good?
Oh, I would never fall for that. I'd be like, you faggot.
If you say the word
know.
kiss in a text,
Kiss?
yeah, exactly.
Go to
That's the
Central Park
only
and
word that
kiss?
applies it.
Yeah.
Maybe after you're already together.
Let
be
me
like,
get in you
smoochies?
in Central
Yeah,
Park.
you want to be cream pied under
My-
a full fucking moon with a telescope? Right?
Yeah, that's
That
my
works.
that's my text.
That's
Right?
good.
Sorry,
That's
Mom.
Good. I might wake up for that one.
Yeah, see?
It did not sound good to her. Clark had nothing but his payoff money and a crumbling reputation. So in the summer of 2008, he did the only thing that made sense to him.
Suicide.
That day, he had snooks, supervised, of course, by a social worker. As they walked down the street, a black limousine stopped nearby.
Why you gotta be black?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is, it is
Racist
March.
Motherfucker. There you go.
Oh, I just dated
Good
this
for him
podcast.
for
Damn
support.
it! I got to release this one earlier than I intended. Clark had hired the company to give him and Snooks a ride to lunch for $3,000, informing them that the driver should be wary of a clingy friend who might try to jump in the car with them.
Wait, what was $3,000?
He paid $3,000 for a limo service to pick him up and make sure that a clingy friend, a.k.a. the social worker, didn't get in the car with them when they drove away.
I feel like you could do that for about $600.
3,000's pretty high.
Yeah, I was like, wow,
Who's
like-
scamming who here?
You know what I'm saying? What's the
like-
driver into?
Clark suddenly pushed the social worker to the ground and jumped into the car with Snooks, hitting her head on the door. He yelled at the driver to step on it, which he did, dragging the social worker several feet before he let go of the handle.
That is a felony. He did commit a felony.
Wait, the social worker was strapped, like caught on the car?
Was trying to open the door.
Oh, wow.
And he drove away, and the social worker held on and got
Drug
dragged
a
by.
little
Is the
bit.
social worker his wife? Did he just kidnap his own fucking baby?
That's what I'm saying.
He did kidnap his own kid. The social worker is someone else entirely.
Oh, okay.
Remember, they're divorced now. He gets 3 supervised visits a year.
And it's
Okay.
supervised visits. So
Yeah.
he got rid of the supervisor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
technically that $3,000 paid for a felony that the
for like a lot of felonies.
driver was going to commit.
For many felonies.
I know.
But in
that-
court, if I was the driver,
the driver-
though,
But he
just
told the
made
driver
him an
it was like a-
accomplice
if I was the
in
driver
that.
though in court, I'd just be like, he just told me that lady was trying to kill him and his kid. We had to
Yeah,
go.
well, that's what his.
Sure.
That's what he
what
told
you
the company.
Would say, and
but not the
that's
$3,000
all-
driver. Be like,
Who knows?
Look,
Well, he
I took
did
the
tell-
money. I'm going to be honest.
Okay, wait. Well, that's on page 19.
He did actually tell the company, I said that before, that there was that they should be wary of a hanger-on who might try to get in the car
Absolutely,
with them. Yeah,
I
he primed
get
them.
it.
He primed them.
But but I'm saying that's a lie. Like
Yeah.
a hanger on. He's saying he's putting him in a terrible situation, telling him this person is going to try to get me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like fuck.
Yeah, no, Clark's kind of a dick. Clark Christian Garrett, whatever his name is now.
Oh, I like this guy.
Yeah, I know, you should marry him.
probably did.
Yeah, we're having.
He's kidding. I never got married.
That's where the story gets really twisted.
I will give you his information at the end of this show.
Is this fucker still around?
Well, hold on,
All right.
please.
How many more pages?
We'll find out in just 45 new pages.
We've got 3 pages to go.
Shut up. That's 45.
You
And
pile-
don't call us cunts.
you
This isn't
pile of cunts.
This isn't a football game in the United Kingdom, mate. We're not cunts. We're human beings.
Clark told the driver to take them to the hospital so he could have Snook's head checked and to wait in the parking lot. But Clark never returned. Instead, he and Snooks were in a cab to the marina where they met a friend who had agreed to drive them to New York. Minutes after he got out of his friend's car, the woman got a call from a friend asking if she'd seen the Amber Alert about Clark Rockefeller abducting his daughter. The cops moved fast. It was a high-profile case, but they quickly realized there was more going on here than just an abduction. Clark had no driver's license, no social security number, and no credit cards.
He's like Jefferson Darcy.
It turned out that Clark had never even turned in his marriage license and certificate. There were 0 documents of any kind that could be used to establish his identity or track his whereabouts. The FBI was called in, and they quickly reached out to the Rockefeller family, who, of course, had never heard of him.
Yeah, we're like, who? They're like, we know about your nephew. Ah!
They turned to his network
That's how
of
the
friends.
Rockefellers talk. What? Fuck you.
I believe they do.
They're just
They're all
Family of
Skeksis. It's all
crows.
Skeksis from Dark Crystal.
They turned to his network of friends, but that was even worse. He had told each friend a different plan for his travels. He could be in Peru or Alaska or the Bahamas. Each lead was a carefully planned dead end.
Oh, yeah, because like, I'd never hang out in Alaska or Peru, right?
He's like, oh, just so you know, guys, next week I'm going to be heading to Peru on my boat.
Oh.
Someone else, you go, hey, yeah, if you need me next week, I'll be in Alaska fishing.
Trying to throw them off.
He just spread like a ton of lies.
Yeah.
They
Knock
released-
the scent off.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
They released his picture to the public and received a litany of reports. He was Chris Gerhardt, the film student from Wisconsin, and Chris Crow, the unqualified investment banker, and Christopher Chichester, the British royal, wanted in connection with the disappearance and possible murder of a couple in California.
Oh, yeah. He's a murderer.
They lifted fingerprints from a wine glass and finally had the truth. He was Christian Gerhartsreiter, a German student who disappeared on his visa years ago.
Whoa.
Finally, a tip came in. A real estate agent had just sold a house in Baltimore to a Chip Smith and his daughter Muffy.
This is why all the rich people voted for Trump, huh? Just keep these immigrants out.
Oh, dude. Chip Smith and Muffy?
Muffy.
and Chip.
Dude, Muffy? Muffy, there's someone at the door for you.
What is the actual name
Muffy.
of Muffy? Is that a nickname or is that a real
I
name?
think of a mildly fuzzy vagina. And you have someone
Same,
Muffy.
but I'm saying like there's so
Fuzzy.
many Muffies.
Dude, I don't know any Muffies.
You're talking to a girl?
No. In the rich, like they mock
there
it
are?
in movies.
Oh,
Like,
really?
That's always a common name amongst the like.
I'd never heard it until now.
folk.
Hello, Muffy.
And so I'm just curious, like, is that a nickname or was her name Muffy? on her
Maybe
birth
it's like short for muffin or...
It can't be.
Ooh, could be
can
short
you
for
put
muffin.
muffin on a fucking birth certificate?
Yeah, you can. You can name your kid Horse's Ass if you want.
No, you
I
can.
guess you're right.
Can you?
Try.
It's too late now, but wow, that's pretty cool.
See if
Next
you can
kid,
redo yours.
Shefsky.
Go home and get your wife pregnant. See what happens.
Knock her up. Knock her up.
Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
Finally smartened up.
Yeah.
Finally smartened up.
That's a choice.
Chip Smith and Muffy matched the description
Yeah.
and had paid for the house in cashier's checks.
You can pay for a house in cashier's checks?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So the daughter? Oh no, Muffy. This
Muffy's
is
the daughter.
Right.
Muffy is what he's calling Snooks right now.
Right.
The FBI.
Snooks and Muffs.
So how did Snooks? I was gonna- did
There's
she ever have a
such-
regular name?
No.
How did Snooks take it when her dad's like, I'm just gonna call you Muffy from now? Like, what kind of lies is he telling this kid?
I have no idea, but they
You can
were
really
like
conform a
super
kid.
duper close.
Yeah, that's what's so sad
Keep
about it.
an eye
is
on
that, you know,
yours because they can really.
Somebody start calling my son Muffy. I got someone to answer to. Only I call him Muffy.
I will call your kid Muffy only from now on.
Don't link my child to any of your bad
How's Muffy?
crimes. Shit.
How is Muffy? How's old Muffy?
How's
He's
the
fine.
how's the
you guys have
Muffster?
broken me. He's fine. We'll call him that. He's fine. He's doing great. Muffy says hi.
The FBI found the house and tricked Clark into stepping outside. A plainclothes agent called to him. Hey, Clark! He turned around.
And that was it? That's the big trick?
Where are you going, Clark? He replied, I'm going to get a turkey sandwich before being tackled by federal agents.
You'll get a turkey sandwich if the judge gives it to you.
So they'd actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Christian went to trial next year where his defense tried to use the insanity plea. They told the jury he believed his daughter had communicated telepathically. Okay, this is only the trial right now for his kidnapping.
Which has nothing to do with this other fraud.
Nothing to do with other shit.
So,
Just on trial for the kidnapping.
but they know that there's other stuff, so they're building cases while he's on trial for that, right?
Because everything's popping up.
Yep.
A little pop-up video.
Christian went to trial for the kidnapping, whereas defense tried using insanity plea. They told the jury that he believed his daughter had communicated telepathically that he needed to rescue her from her mother. They had doctors diagnose him with mixed personality disorder, delusional disorder, and narcissistic personality disorder. The jury did not care, and he was found guilty of parental kidnapping and assault with a dangerous weapon for dragging the social worker behind the car.
How long did he get?
Yeah, how long?
That's what we want.
Sentenced to 4 to 8 years in prison.
But how long did he have her for? Like, how long was he getting away
Couple
with
days.
it? Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
Okay.
not long.
So it was quick. Yeah.
But the law was not done with the fake Rockefeller. Someone had moved into the Sohus house in San Marino, and they wanted a pool. Instead, they found the beaten and stabbed remains of John Sohus. The chopped up parts were in bags from the University of Wisconsin and USC. That, combined with the fact that Chris had been found with John's car in Connecticut years later, was enough for the jury to convict him of murder.
Wow.
Yes, more time.
What's this guy's person like? I want to know his personality. Like what was he?
Super
like when they were
cool, actually, like
questioning-
really chill.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
When they're questioning, like, did it say when you were researching this, like what he was like?
Well,
like
there's a whole side that, like, in between, before the murder stuff had come out, but
Yeah.
after his identity had been broken, he did this whole interview with Dateline where he stayed in character. He was like, she's like, "Do you remember Germany?" He's like, I've never been to Germany. I have memories.
Are you serious?
Shut.
I have memories of being in Oregon and picking strawberries and of riding in a station
now
wagon.
He's just riding the mental wave at that point. He's
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna stay out of prisons for murder.
Yeah, but there's
They're
a
gonna
whole-
keep me in a fucking mental ward.
it's well, how do they decide like that? I mean, obviously he's
When
too
he
insane.
says things like, "I don't remember Germany. I only play with strawberries."
but then
it's
they
a fucking weirdo.
But if the jury or the judge goes, well, I don't think you're insane. I think you know what you're doing. Like, how do you prove that he does know what he's doing and he's not insane? I'm not saying that he shouldn't be off the streets and away from the regular humans, but like,
of course, but he should be getting gang raped in a prison somewhere. No.
Well,
I don't
hold
know.
on. There's a
If
happy ending to this story.
Well, hold
if he's
on,
super
there is a
insane,
gang
like
rape.
if he's super insane, maybe
Finally,
just like
a gang
locked
rape.
up, so he's not,
Christian
wish that on anyone, kid.
Christian fired his attorneys and represented himself during sentencing.
Oh yeah, because he's a
always
lawyer.
good.
He's a lawyer. He's like, I'm actually a lawyer. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
That is establishing mental illness.
you almost see how dumb people are that he could somehow.
That's not dumb. That's mental illness. Like when you go, I'm firing my legal team. I'm going to do it myself.
But maybe in his practical mind, he's like, this is the last ditch effort to really make myself look insane. It sounds like a good screenplay right now.
He maintained his innocence, asserting that John's wife, Linda, who is still missing to this day, is actually the real killer.
Interesting. That's a pretty
What a
smart
plot
workup.
twist.
That is a pretty
Well, to be
smart
fair, all of the
workup.
evidence that he did the murder is circumstantial. Like the bags were in the same house that Linda lived in. He took the car, but like there's no real tight evidence
never
that makes
found her
him the
body?
murderer. They never found her.
Weird.
Never found her to this day.
Yeah, she'd never been found.
Shit.
But the certain details that like kind of fuck him, including the thing was dug up when he was living there. He borrowed his neighbor's chainsaw, but was known to not do manual labor. So there's no smoking gun, but there's enough circumstantial shit that we know this.
let me just be the judge that I am and say this guy is guilty. Okay. That's
But do you
just-
think he like Breaking batted, however you say that?
I don't know if that's a term.
I wonder
made
about
it
that
the
one.
term?
Breaking Bad.
You know, where he just like melted. What do they call that?
Oh yeah, with
You know,
the
like,
acid.
just fucking yeah,
Acid in her.
They melt
just
him down.
fucking melted her
Disintegrate you.
down.
Christian Karl
answer that
Gerhartsreiter.
I don't know. I mean,
I thought Slaton was going to answer it with like an adult kind of like authoritative thing.
well, I
to
mean
make us
because he
feel,
did so much fucking homework.
Yeah.
Christian Karl Gerhartsreiter currently sits in San Quentin State Prison,
Oh, cool. Famous.
waiting his next appeal. He is eligible for parole in 2039.
How annoying do you think he is as a cellmate? If he has a cellmate,
Oh
where you're
my
just like,
God.
dude!
Yeah.
Shut the fuck! Like every day he's got a new story. And you're like, oh.
Dude, that wasn't you.
Yeah.
You were not in that.
And somehow he's still alive though.
Shut
so.
up.
His
Slaton.
ex-wife would later discover that even Clark's collection of priceless modern art was, in fact, a bunch of fakes.
Of course.
Oh, right. I forgot about the
And
art.
she's
But
like-
good enough fakes that like
she's
they
like-
fooled the art community.
Dude, she had a kid with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a big dick.
And what happened to his daughter? Is she cool?
I actually don't know.
I mean, they
The-
probably had to stop talking. I mean, you can take them out of it. kind
What
of
a
thing.
mind fuck, though. What a fucking mind fuck.
Like hide her identity. She'd have to change her identity, right? Both of them.
I'd feel
the
like it,
mom
right?
and the daughter.
Well, so this reporter, he went
like
to
legally, not the way this nut did it, where he just said it.
No, they're like a witness protection program. Like, we're just like, give us a new.
Yeah, because if he ever escaped or whatever.
The main source for this article, for the story today, was an article from Vanity Fair that became a book called "The Man in the Rockefeller Suit" by a guy named Mark Seal, which is it's a great book.
Who is the killer? He made the book himself and changed his name again.
He traveled to all of these places and got all these interviews, and he actually went to his old town in Bavaria called Bergen and interviewed every individual person. Like, he got all these different little pieces.
Yeah.
And there was something, you asked a question a second ago that made me think of that. Now I forgot what your question was. So great line of thought there, Rich.
What, that he disintegrated the lady?
No, there's a thing after that.
Like about the daughter. We were talking about like
Changing the identity of the kid.
Yeah, about all that kind of stuff. I haven't gotten to that point yet. I'm sure if I had to piece it together from some other sources.
Can you imagine
as well.
if they were like, well, she changed her identity too, and then they put that out there. It's like, dude, you just fucked it all up again. The kids out there, fucking idiots.
That's a very Naked Gun kind of like reveal right there.
Other sources today include the Boston Globe, the Boston Herald. Of course, check out that book, The Man in the Rockefeller Suit by Mark Seal. It's really, really good and gives you a way more in-depth version of this story. And of course, the evil robots at Wikipedia.
I think you should do like hour specials on different people that you look up like this, because you did so much fucking work.
Oh, just do that as my stand-up?
Just a stand-up?
Just your stand-up? Yeah, just
like, don't make us
out.
be part of this shit. Just do it yourself.
Maybe have him on the side, like if you have a question or you want to insert something.
Maybe at a desk?
You know what
Can I be at a desk?
Sure, be at a desk while you're just rattling off this.
Well, those of you at home who hear how much work goes into this podcast, if you want to...
That's a fucking essay.
You can support the show.
Thesis, actually.
It's 3,600 words.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
I do that every week.
I've never done that in my whole life.
Yeah,
on anything.
I pound this shit out, bruh.
Yeah,
that's what I do. If you wanna,
you probably graduated from college, huh?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's one of those things that
you go in
that the Rockefellers just do. We all graduate from college. Support the show on Patreon, guys. We have a Patreon account. There you can get a bunch of cool stuff. The main thing you get there is access to all our bonus episodes, including our mini crime stories, our bonus shows where our guests tell some cool crime stories, and the lost episodes, some other weird crap. So please go ahead and do that. You can also get cool things like the front page of our scripts from the show, signed by us and the guests, T-shirts, other types of cool shit that will be up there. So please go ahead, support us on Patreon. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram and all social medias at CrimePod. And you can email us. If the email is crimepodcast@gmail.com. If you have story suggestions, questions, dick pics, whatever you want to do, send us that.
Send the dick pics
label
to me,
them.
guys.
Oh yeah, send it to Eleanor.
You know what? Eleanor. This week.
What's your
social
handles?
medias that people? Where can people find you?
EJ Kerrigan or Eleanor Kerrigan, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Send her the dick pics.
You can get the spelling of Kerrigan in
I don't
the
have
episode.
Snapchat, so you got to commit to it.
Yeah, Snapchat.
It's going to stay up for all the
if
whole
you're sending her
time.
dick pics, just make sure that's living. That's living. That's a real dick pic forever.
Yeah, I don't do no 24-hour shit.
And you can see Eleanor here at the Comedy Store all the time. She's a paid regular. She's hilarious. You'll see here in the main room and in the original room all the time, kicking ass, taking names, etc., etc., etc.
He's drawing a picture of a dick now.
Oh yeah, well John is actually preparing this Patreon
Beautiful,
reward
John.
for. I have the Sharpie here if you want to go deep on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
I
really
like
wanna
it
get
to
in
go
there.
deep. I mean, you want
Guys,
looks like just the tip is in there.
it's just kind of crossed over the oyster
I see what
Rockefeller,
you're
you know?
saying.
And then I eat a little Germany just to kind of,
Is this actually what Germany looks like?
I have no idea. I
Okay.
forgot.
I mean, I was so proud of you. I'm
I remember
like,
the globe.
wow.
Like I remember like the area that Germany's in on the globe.
Yeah, I guess I can
But I
kinda
can't remember
see
the
it,
actual
but not-
shape of Germany.
Yeah.
If
you're
you like
Germany
the
listening, I'm
show,
sorry.
give us a review, give us 5 stars, but most importantly, tell your friends about it because we need people to listen to this so that we can
Listen
keep
to
doing
their
it.
It sounds so
show.
desperate. We need people to listen. We
they put
want
so
people to
much
listen to this.
fucking work into this show. You
Yeah,
must
dude. We
listen.
put so much work into the show. You have to listen, or else.
I do the Comedy Store podcast and don't put any work into it.
I know, I was
at
there.
all. Yes. Well, you put the least amount of work.
I
into
actually
it.
undid your work
So that was
by fucking up
awesome.
the machine.
Yeah, we just talk shit. So you guys really do a thing.
Eleanor Kerrigan, John Shefsky.
Hi.
I'm Rich Slaton.
Bye.
Bye, robot.
Bye.